everything has a timeline. You are meant to meet people at a certain time in your life, and then either that connection stays and it's lifelong, or it ends, and because it's meant to end. Like, it's just better to be around people who also have that mindset and who also want to be somewhere in life, because your support system is so important. And sometimes you meet people who are like, oh yeah, like, welcome back to the Elevate Your Life podcast, and I hope you are having a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. Make sure you have your cup of tea, your coffee, a drink, a snack, whatever you need, and let's get started. So today I'm going to be talking about friendships and letting go of people, outgrowing people, moving on, and how to navigate all of that. So I feel like I have a lot of experience with this sort of thing. Like, people leave in and out of my life, and I think that I've let it happen to me because I really believe in outgrowing people and friendships and letting their time pass, because everything has a timeline. You are meant to meet people at a certain time in your life, and then either that connection stays and it's lifelong, or it ends, and because it's meant to end. Like, we're friends with people that we start off being friends with them in high school, and we're friends with them for like 3-4 years. Maybe you're friends throughout the entirety of high school, and then once you're at the end of high school and you're graduating, you find that you don't have the same like mindsets anymore. And it doesn't mean that there has to be any like bad blood, or there has to be like it ended badly. It can just end, like mutual, and you just realize that you're in different paths. Maybe you're focused on your career and they're still focused on other things, and you're just not really aligning. And it doesn't mean that you have to like hate each other and you have to say bye and like, I'm never going to speak to you again. It's just kind of a mutual respect thing, and you don't choose to be around them because you want to be around people who are on the same level that you are, with the mindset of, I want to be here with my goals, and I'm spending time, I'm pouring into what I want to be and what my dreams and my ambitions. And then it's just better to be around people who also have that mindset and who also want to be somewhere in life, because like I said in my other video, it really matters who you surround yourself with. And I feel like people who are picky about who their friends are, it's only because they care about their well-being, and they want to achieve where they want to go, because it really, really matters. Every successful person that you'll meet, every book that you'll read, they always talk about how they have few friends and they only choose the friends that they want to be like, or the people who actually get them. And the people who have a lot of friends, they tend to not be as successful. It really, really matters who you surround yourself with. And it's a wise thing to do, to be picky with your friends and to have friendship standards, because your support system is so important. And sometimes you meet people who are like, oh yeah, like, I'm the best one in the group. And if you have read any books or listened to podcasts of people who have already made it and who are where they want to be, they surround themselves with people who they are proud to be around. And because they want to elevate their lives, because they want to have a better life for themselves. And you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You don't want to be the smartest one in your friend group, because like, you're just around people who look up to you, but you're not learning from them. Like, it's an equal thing. And sometimes you'll meet people who have an ego and they're like, I'm the best one in my group, they all look up to me. And it's like, great. And that's like, okay, but do you not know that if you surround yourself with people who don't take their lives seriously, that also affects you, and you're just around them because it's a little ego boost? Knowing that you should surround yourself with people who you're proud to be around with and who are good people, and you have the same mindset, that's doing yourself a favor and doing them a favor, because you're learning from each other. And it's important to, if you can choose the people that you're around, why not choose people who will also help you and you can help each other? So let me tell you a story. I used to have a friend, and I think this was in middle school. Yeah, it was in middle school. And I was a really, really shy person. Like, I would never raise my hand. I was the girl that would barely raise their hand, even though I knew the answer. And then when someone would raise their hand, I would be like, oh my gosh, that was the answer. And I literally could have gotten it right because I could just raise my hand, but I was a really, really shy kid. And I only had like two friends in middle school. And she was this really, really cool girl. And I loved her, and she was there for me, but also she was really toxic. Toxic in means of, she was always involved in drama, and she would always have this new guy and this new thing that she would be trying to pursue. And honestly, that's fine, but there were like red flags in the friendship that I noticed where she would just always be involved in drama, or she would FaceTime me, but then she would FaceTime another friend. And this one time she did it to me. And how I mentioned in my other video of how you think having a friend that is gossiping and is like talking badly about other people, they're not doing it to you because you're friends, you're your best friends. Like, why would they, why would they talk bad about you? Your best friends. Well, no, because this one time I was on FaceTime with her and I was like just saying something about my family and I was like going through something. And then she was FaceTiming this guy and on her iPad. And then I was on her phone. And then I heard like someone else on her iPad. And I'm like, whoa. So you had someone else on the other line the whole time. And a lot of people will talk about toxic friends, and I feel like going through a toxic friendship at a young age really teaches you a lot, because in that situation I said, okay, so you don't respect my privacy, and clearly you did not respect my privacy. Like, you would FaceTime other people while I was on the other line. I thought I was safe because when you're young, you think that if somebody gossips about other people and they share it to you, you think they're not gossiping about you. But honey, they are. And at that moment, my choices that I had was to one, leave, or second, sorry, my camera died. We are back. So the girl that I was friends with, she had a lot of red flags, as in I would help her with her homework if she needed me. I would be there to listen to her if she had any if she had anything going on. And whenever I needed help, she would always like gatekeep and not help me out. And I also believe in the saying, pretty girls don't gatekeep. If you want to know like where my jacket's from, I will literally tell you. I'll send you the link. If you want to know where my lip combo is from, I'll tell you the brand. I'll tell you whatever, because we don't gatekeep here. Like, there's a gatekeep gaslight, guys, I don't even know, but it's like gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. It's that one. And I do not believe in that, because I believe that we can all win, we can all get to the top. And if somebody wants to know where my shirt is from, where my jacket's from, how I got this gig, this opportunity, I will literally tell you, because there are two types of people. There are people with a mindset of we can all win, and there's one person that has a mindset of I'm gonna gatekeep. No one else can find out how I got here because I don't want to help anyone else. I'm gonna step on people. And me personally, I don't believe in that. And you can believe in whatever you want to believe. But if you have any questions on where anything's from, any questions on how I did this or that, I will share, because I feel like we can all get to the top. And that is a mindset that I have. But then, anyways, at that point in my life, I don't think she had that mindset. I mean, we're all young, but even I wasn't in the mindset of if I know something, I'm not going to tell you, because that is such a way of life that I'm not for. And I think that if I have something, an opportunity, I'm always someone that is going to share it, especially if you deserve it. And if you're my friend, I'm gonna take you to the top with me. She was always not available, or whenever I needed help with like an assignment or something, she would not help me, or be like, I don't have time, and create an excuse. But the thing is, whenever she needed me, I would always pick up, I would always help her. And it's kind of like a respect thing, and she would treat me badly. And there was a point where when that happened, it just crossed the line of, okay, I cannot stick around for this type of friendship. And like I said, I was a shy, quiet girl. I only had like 2 or 3 friends. And so I knew that if I left her, I would not have any friends. I would be sitting alone. This is middle school. So, of course, you'd be sitting alone. And nobody wants to be alone, especially when you're young. Like, you'd rather be with somebody than not be with someone, because you're young and you want to look like you have friends. I mean, it's not like you're trying to be a loner, right? But I did end up leaving that friendship because of the red flags and how it was toxic. And I don't know how old I was. I think like 15 or 16, but I said I ended the friendship in the most respectful way that I could. And I was pretty lonely. I was not hanging out with her anymore. I would hang out with other people, and of course I missed her. But because of that experience, I learned that it's always better to be alone than to be with someone who makes you feel alone or who doesn't treat you right. And this is so important, because if you're staying for a friendship or a relationship, like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you're unhappy with the way that they're treating you, then I really hope that you find the courage to leave and that you become brave enough to leave that friendship. Because ever since I ended that friendship, I was lonely and I had no friends for a period of time. But then shortly after, I gained friends who were actually kind to me. And it's really, really crazy. And oh my gosh, it's kind of sad. And this is really personal for me to share, but you're in that mindset of, Oh my gosh, you exist. Like, it's so sad that you would think that because when I met the better friends and new friends, the thought that would get into my head is people like you exist. And it's like the bare minimum stuff. Like, it's like being there for you. Um, and just being a good person, like things like helping you with an assignment and being there and like reciprocating the kindness and just being a good human, like that is literally all bare minimum. Like that's how every human should be treated. But I'm telling you that if you're in a toxic relationship or a toxic friendship or a friend that is not treating you right, know that once you leave that relationship, you're going to meet people who are kind and people with your friendship standards. Like everybody has friendship standards. I mean, everybody has standards in a guy. Like, oh, like I want him to be 6 foot. I want him to be making a lot of money. I want him to be like doing this and that. But have you ever thought about friendship standards? Because friendships are so important, and the friends that you're with, they're like the family that you choose. And to have good friendship standards, like, oh, they don't leave you alone when it's nighttime and they actually listen to you and they don't cut you off when you're speaking, like they care about your life. You guys have like mutual respect for each other. You're you're there for each other. You do favors for each other if you need. It's like basic stuff like that, like to have standards of we have the same morals and we can talk about topics, like we can talk deeply, like we can have deep conversations about if we're having issues, if we're having like personal stuff in our lives. Like I feel like I can confide in this person. Like that's what I mean, friendship standards. I mean, some people just want somebody that will listen to them, and some people want someone that they can have a deep conversation with, and they want someone where they can share their goals with, and someone that will listen to them, someone that will have the same morals so that they can connect on that level. And then some people just want somebody that's funny. But friendship standards are really important, and knowing when to leave is always really important because I write a lot of music about leaving situations, and it's like a sad song, but if you look at the lyrics, there's a meaning. And one of the first songs I ever wrote was called Worth, and it was about how somebody doesn't deserve you and that it's better to leave. And my songs, they always have a kind of message to them at the end where you're going through something. But then towards the end, it's always about it's worth it if I leave and I don't deserve this type of thing and it's better I leave because let me tell you something I will always say and always repeat is leaving something is always harder than staying because you're comfortable. I mean, you've talked to this person, they were your friend, even though they were treating you badly, they were still there. Like, they were still with you when you guys, I don't know, when you ate lunch together, when you were talking about your crushes. And then there came to be a point where they stopped treating you well and they stopped being respectful. And the way that someone treats you in the beginning, it's always going to be really good because you meet somebody for the first time. It's always going to be rainbows and sunshine, and then down the line when time passes, they start to treat you badly. And I'm not saying that they have to be a perfect friend, but for someone to be there for you and actually have like your best interest at heart, it is like rare to find. And when you leave that bad friendship, know that you will attract a better person and a better friendship and someone that has like the friendship standards that you want because you deserve a really good friendship and you deserve people who deeply truly care about you, and you will only reach and find those people when you let go of the toxic friend, when you let go of the toxic relationships that you have. And honestly, it's not easy because when I talk about leaving something in my songs, I'm talking about friendships, I'm talking about like if it's family, I'm talking about if it's a relationship, it's anything toxic. And leaving something is so, so hard. And it's so easy to say, I'm going to leave and I'm not going to go back to this person. But do you know how hard that is to do? Like, saying something is so easy, but to actually follow up with actions and not talk to this person and to be okay with being alone for a bit of time until your actual people find you, until you find a better friend, that is so hard. That's difficult, which is why it takes courage and it takes like you to be brave, to be like, I'm gonna be alone. I'm not gonna have an instant friend tomorrow. If I drop this friend, if I drop my boyfriend, if I like break up with this toxic relationship, if I break up with this toxic person, I'm not gonna just magically like, oh boom, like there's a new relationship. I have a new best friend just like that. No, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna cry, you're gonna go through healing, you're gonna have to heal, you're gonna have to journal, go to therapy, whatever. But it's always gonna be better than staying in something that is unhealthy for you. And once you're brave enough and have courage to let go of that connection, of that friendship, that relationship, whatever, you will literally thank yourself. Because when I left that friendship when I was 16, I was so happy of the friend that God gave me, and that the friend that the universe rewarded me with, because I was brave enough to leave the toxic one. So I just want to say that today, and that is it for today's episode. I hope that I was able to share some insight, and I hope that you know that if you're in something, please have courage, or at least think about it to see if it's still worth it to stay with that friend. Or if you have courage to be like, I'm going to meet someone better, and I'm going to meet someone that has like good intentions for me, and I'll meet someone with my friendship standards and my relationship standards, whatever it is, you know? And it's always hard to leave something than to stay. But I hope you find the courage. And remember that you are worth so much and you deserve a lot in this world. Thank you for tuning in to the Elevate Your Life podcast. I will see you in the next video. All right. Bye. Today, I'm going to be talking about friendships and letting go of people, outgrowing people, moving on, and how to navigate all of that. So I feel like